This was my Phantom Nightmare list after the Nadir Servant engine. Apparently I was teching in this, which is interesting. No, I think that's accurate. So this is what I brought to Dark Sphere London OTS Championship, including this. I just decided to tech this in for random reasons. I didn't even have any synchros. I'm main deck shifters. Main deck shifter worked out so well, but I didn't do that well in the tournament itself. I misplayed a bunch of times and I was really nervous, and I probably misplayed because I was nervous. I beat, it was like, all of my matchups were just Voiceless Voice and Snake Eyes, like, and I beat like, I beat half of my matchups. There was like, the only variance I had was like one Runic Snake Eyes. This is Phantom Nightmare format, by the way. Yeah, so that was Phantom Nightmare format. You're probably not interested in that. You're probably more interested in this. So this is my Legacy of Destruction build. I did record a deck profile for this, but I haven't had time to edit that, and I wanted to like release the guide before I release the deck profile. So I'll do a deck profile real quick right now. It was like an IRL deck profile, and it was really good as well. And I went like really in depth, but I'll briefly go over it. So we have the Nightmare Throne. We have the One of Piraeus map, which is a cool spicy tech. I say spicy tech, but I honestly don't believe this is spicy. I honestly believe that people should be doing this more often, because like it plays through hand traps. Like, is your opponent going to Ash Blossom this? No. So you now have access to either this or this, and then you can search the other with Nightmare Throne, or with Nightmare Throne you can search this if you already have this and this. So you can either do 2-card combo with these two, or 3-card combo with this, and then with Nightmare Pain you can search your second Spirit of Yubel as a hand trap for your opponent's turn. Yeah, so this is the ratio of Dark Beckoning Beast versus opening Spirit Gates. Everyone runs 3 Beasts because I get it, you get 2 Fiends in the field to go into Yama, but like that's not the point, because you have so many starters. You're always going to draw this 2-card combination of Samsara D Lotus and Dark Beckoning Beast, especially if you have 1-for-1. Like, you're always going to get this, like, and opening and Spirit Gates can search it. And you're not double normal summoning Dark Beckoning Beast if you draw this and this. You're going normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast, normal summon Samsara D Lotus, right? So you don't need to open Dark Beckoning Beast. Opening with opening is much better because it plays around hand traps, it baits out Ash Blossoms, for those that don't know how to play the deck. If you start with this, it gets impermed and you don't have access to opening. So this is way worse. This is actually a worse starter than opening. Purely because if it gets impermed or veiled, you don't have your second normal summon, you're forced to go into Almirage and you're forced to have this in your hand, right? But if you open with this, then it baits out Ash Blossoms, then you get this, you normal summon this, and then you normal summon Samsara D Lotus like usual. But if they imperm the Lotus, because they're probably not going to imperm this, because you've already searched, because you've already got opening, so they're probably not going to imperm it because they've already got opening, don't need to imperm this. So then you're more likely to get that second normal summon. But if they do imperm it, then they're smart and they know how to play against Yubel. But even if they don't imperm it, they're more likely to imperm Samsara D Lotus, and that is a really good imperm target for us because it means they've wasted it, and then we can just link off into Yama and then summon this from the grave using opening's effect. So yeah, drawing opening is way better than Dark Beckoning Beast. It plays around so many hand traps. Anyway, 1-for-1, 2 Nightmare Pain, 2 Grave Scope. So I was thinking about 1, but then I realized it's good to have 1 for the combo and 1 for the follow-up in case they Cosmic Cyclone or destroy it during their turn. We have 2 Grave Squirmer, similar reason, 1 for the combo, another 1 for the follow-up, because this is actually really good for OTKs. We have 2 Spirit of Yubel. You have to have a minimum of 2, either if you need 2 to go into Varudras, or you just have 2 because you want that extra search target with Nightmare Pain. Actually, your extra search target is usually Material Chronicle. So yeah, we have the 2 Yubel bricks. We have no Ultimate Nightmare, by the way. We have Mature Chronicle, and we have 3 Super Poly because it's good going first or second, and we have 3 Unchained cards. We have these 3 because we have Caesar in the extra deck, and you can actually go into this by using Super Producer. I don't run Super Producer, never mind. You can go into this if you save Grave Squirmer in hand and pop something, trigger Yammer and Grave, and destroy Escape to bring out the blue dog, and then bring back the red dog with Muckraker, and then you have 2 level 6s. Yeah, I've just spoiled my next video, but hey. Ash Blossom, Imperm, Ghost Ogre. This was like, yeah, Trinity's running this as well. Well, it's just Tempai running around and good for the mirror match. Not very good against Snake Eye, but it's not terrible either, because you can versus Snake Eye, you can use this against IP, but I usually side this out for Shifter versus Snake Eye. We have a Called By, Talents, Judgment, Drain, Shifter, Nibiru, Cyclone in the extra deck. We have our 4 Super Poly targets, Yubel, Loving Defender, Mud Dragon, Garura, and Dracosepelia. Dracosepelia is a weird one, but it's actually worth it, because when it does come up, you have a once per turn negate. So, yeah. I mainly have this for the negate and not for like the branded matchup or anything, because I don't really struggle against the branded matchup. We have the Caesar. More people should be running this. You don't have to wait for Fiendsmiths to run Caesar. Yeah, Varudras, new Omni Negate, run it, it's good. Gustav Max, we run this for like empty board OTKs. Like, yeah, this plus like a Yammer is enough. Typhon Sky Crisis, it comes up, so I have it. Amirage, same again, it comes up when you need those Dark Beckoning Beast in the graveyard for opening. Muckraker, part of the combo actually. Also can be used for follow-up if you didn't use it for combo. Yammer, only one. I think I should have ran 2, but this is actually an old build. This is an old build. This is the beginning of Legacy Destruction build. So this is the deck that I ran at the beginning of Legacy Destruction. This is not what I'm bringing for Nats. We have Rage, we have SP, and we have Anguish and Abomination. Abomination because instead of access to Code Talker, because you sometimes get Fiend blocks, and this basically accomplishes the same thing as access Code Talker. You don't really need the extra like 2000 attack to OTK, because Gustav Max is always enough. Or in fact, even if you go for Varudras instead of Gustav Max instead of an OTK, then you have enough interruption during your opponent's turn to win the game anyway. And this just clears the board where like your opponent has lost all of their continuous spells if they use that. And yeah, okay, so that's the deck profile for that. But here is my first place Stevenage OTS deck profile. So it's the same as the last deck profile, except I upped the number of starters. So as you can see, I have 1 more Dark Beckoning Beast. I have a single Pot of Prosperity, because it's once per turn. And you don't really need Pot of Prosperity because the deck is consistent enough, but this is basically acts as a additional starter, and also Ash Blossom Bait. Jesus Christ. And we have the same ratios here, same ratios here, same ratios here, same ratios here as well. And we have Ash Blossom, Imperm, Ghost Ogre, Called By, but we have 3 Effect Veiler. So this is a new addition. And we, as you've probably noticed, there's no Mature Chronicle in this deck. Very interesting. You have to kill your darlings. I realized I was bricking sometimes with the previous Legacy Destruction build, and I realized, okay, this is fine to brick sometimes. The deck was still consistent, but how about I brick no times? So more starters. This deck almost never bricks. It can still brick, but it almost never bricks now. This deck is super consistent. Super Poly is a really good card, but it is kind of a win more card. So I cut it. That's 4 extra spaces. I also cut the Triple Tactics talent because it's either really good or really bad. Like it's literally either it's just completely dead, like when your opponent doesn't draw hand traps or doesn't play around talents. Or does play around talent, sorry. So I decided to cut it because I can't be asked to deal with inconsistencies like that. This is super consistent. So I added 5 extra spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, and ever since I made this change, I brought it to Stevenage OTS. So the first time I made the change was just before Stevenage OTS. I went to Stevenage OTS Championship and I came first place with this deck. So kill your darlings, it works. And ever since then, my win rate has accelerated incredibly. I've been destroying locals completely, getting multiple first places in locals ever since I made that change, and I feel on top of the world, so powerful with this deck. And we don't even have Phantom of Yubel. This is like a tier 2 deck minimum without Phantom Yubel. So with Phantom of Yubel, it becomes tier 1. With the Fiendsmith, it's also tier 1 because the Fiendsmith don't actually add as much as you think. The Fiendsmith is just generally good as an engine. But it does make your deck a little bit more vulnerable to droll. Not that our deck isn't already vulnerable to droll, because it is a little bit vulnerable to droll, depending on your starters, especially when I'm running these. I'm cutting Prot of Prosperity for Infinite Forbidden though. Anyway, side deck is the same. I tried out Simul Archfiends. I never sided it in because most of my matchups in Stevenage were like really weird matchups where this didn't feel right. This is mainly for the Snake Eye matchup. I didn't play a single Snake Eyes player. Maybe that's why I came first, but I don't know. And instead of the Super Poly targets, we have Jinbuster, Appaloosa, Zeus, and a second Yama. The second Yama came up a lot, so this is definitely keeping. But these three are flex spots because I rarely go into these. I don't usually go for Apo lines because I generally think that the Caesar lines are better. And in order to go for Caesar, you usually don't have enough materials to go into Apo. But the Caesar lines are super efficient in terms of the number of bodies you use. And a video is coming out on that soon. I just need to finish editing it. But the combo is incredible. It ends on Caesar plus Varudras plus Rage plus Yubel and Lotus with Nightmare Pain. Which is 8 interrupts from a 2-card combo. It's incredible. So yeah, this is my deck profile for Stevenage OTS, and also this is basically going to be unchanged for Nats today. The only thing that I'm debating is these last 6 cards in the side deck. I'm not sure if I want to change this out because I haven't decided yet. I'm not sure if I want to change these out for a Triple Tactics Thrust with a Herald of the Abyss plus Duster plus 1 D barrier for thrust targets, mainly because the Herald of the Abyss counters Pearly, and I think Pearly's budget, so it might be like a pretty common pick. But then again, I think either that or I just ignore Pearly and just side in skill drains plus D barriers to the Pearly. But this is probably going to be a D barrier. I know this is good against Snake Eyes, but I think versus Snake Eyes, I think I'm just fine siding in skill drain and shifter. And then just keeping hand trap. So if I'm going second, I just keep the hand traps and side in shifter. If I'm going first, then I side in skill drain and solemn judgment and shifter and like cut out most of the hand traps. But yeah, we'll go. I think we're probably going to go D barrier over Simul Archfiends because Simul Archfiends is good against Snake Eyes as well as the rest of the meta, but it doesn't fully stop the rest of the meta because they can still go into one of their synchros or XYZs or whatever. Whereas D barrier just says no. So we'll probably D barrier because it just is too good. So we're probably going to go this and D barrier. But if I feel last minute, like if I pussy out last minute and go, oh god, I'm scared of Pearlies, then I'll put in the thrust. But yeah, I am scared of Pearlies. So yeah, that is my quick deck profile because I am behind on my upload schedule. So I quickly did this on stream. Probably going to upload this completely unscripted. So yeah, thanks for watching, subscribe or something, because I guess this is a YouTube video now. And yeah, catch me streaming, because this is recorded from a stream, and I last minute decided to make this a YouTube video. Last minute. I need to go to Nats now, so see you guys, bye.